Hey, good morning. It's Saturday and I love the weekend. So today I'm going to go on a bike ride with my son Evan. And before I go, thought I would just do about a half an hour practice to get my body moving and get ready for the day. And I think he's going to make me bike for a long time, so I got to really stretch out. So here we go. So today I'm going to start standing and from this position with my feet just a little bit apart, maybe hips width distance apart, which if you look down and you think about putting your two fists between your feet, that is hip width distance. I'm going to stand in Tadasana with my hands just gently resting at my side. There's no tension there. My eyes softly closed. And I'm just going to do a little breathing here. In through my nose and out through my nose. I like to do like a 4-count breath. So breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, holding it at the top, and then exhaling through my nose, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's just keep doing that for about 3 more breaths. So in, hold, out. In, hold, out. In, hold, out. And then let's just do a little bit of side stretching. So, with your feet still grounded, stretch your right arm down your side and lift your left arm up and over, just bending over gently. And if you'd like to look up towards the palm of your hand, that's fine. And just a few breaths here, in and out. I like to keep my eyes closed during the warm-up. Pulling in my core, and then raising those arms up, and then moving over to the opposite side. In and out. In and out. In and out. Raising back up, and then sliding back down again. And we're going to do just 2 breaths here. And then we're going to open our chest up to the sky. You can feel that that's a little bit of a different stretch. And then move our chest down to the ground. You can feel this a lot up this side. Back up. Same thing on the opposite side. Chest up. And chest back down. Really stretch that arm forward. Okay, coming back up. Let's just get our body moving a little bit before we move in. So let's just let our hands hang by our side, and let's just start out gently twisting side to side, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. And now I'm going to speed it up and just get going as fast as you can. Maybe bend your knees a little, maybe do a figure 8, really get into it. You're trying to get your heart rate up just a little and waking up your body. Whoa, I almost lost my balance. Okay, we're gonna switch and go to the other side. Okay, wait, I start inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, oh no, it's exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. A little bit faster, bend the knees, and then start with the figure 8 if you like. As I always say, all this is just, make it suit you. Whatever works for you is what you want to be doing. Okay, slowing that down. Back to Tadasana. Take a deep breath. Raise your hands up over your head and bending over with a flat back. Folding in, and hands could be on your legs, hands could be down on the ground, hands could be on your shins, but folding your head in. Let's take a few breaths here. Your knees can be bent as much as you like. And then halfway lift, folding in, rising up, hands to heart center, hands to your side. Let's do that again. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rising up. Hands to heart center, hands to your side. Inhaling up. Folding over with a flat back. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rising up. In, down to heart center, down to your side. This time we're going to move from when we're down, we're going to do a halfway lift, and then we're going to step back into plank pose. So in plank pose, you want to have your shoulders directly under your wrist directly under your shoulders, and you want to be on your tippy toes, and you want to try to not pike up your hips too much. This is not downward facing dog. So everyone's seen a plank, but just do your best and feel free to put your knees down on the ground. I have to do that when I go down. I can hold the plank for a little bit, but not a long time. I'm gonna be 59 in July. So bending your knees, raising your hands up, exhaling, folding in, inhale, halfway lift, and then plant your hands and bring your feet back so you see where I'm at now. I like to roll around on my toes a little here. And then dropping your knees down if you like. I think always on the first time it's good. And then hugging your elbows in. I'm gonna move back a little bit so you can actually see me. So hugging your elbows in towards your chest. You're gonna lower down slowly to the mat. When you get there, you're gonna push back up into Cobra Pose. So Cobra Pose can just be right off the mat, or it can be a little bit further up, but you're keeping those elbows hugging in. I'm realizing you can't see me very well, but oh well. Then we're gonna come back to plank, and then we're gonna shoot up our hips, walk our hands a little bit forward, and now we're in downward facing dog. So in downward facing dog, your hands are not under your shoulders there. I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 palm prints ahead. Your tailbone is reaching up to the sky. Your heels are moving in the direction of the earth. They certainly do not need to be on the earth. And we're going to take about 5 breaths here. And then we're going to bend our knees and then spring our foot forward, our front foot forward, and then our back. Anyway, spring your left and then your right foot forward. Doesn't matter which one. We're gonna fold in. We're gonna lift halfway. We're gonna gonna fold in, we're gonna bend our knees, and we're gonna rise back up. Let's do another one of those. Hands to heart center, hands to your side. Let's go. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling to plank. Let's hold this plank. Let's try for 10 counts. We're almost there. Drop your knees, hug those elbows in, lower down slowly, lifting up to cobra or upward facing dog. Upward facing dog, your tops of your feet are on the mat and your knees are off the mat. Your arms are straight. And then we're gonna fold back into downward facing dog. Breathing here. Maybe in this downward facing dog, we're gonna pedal out our knees. Just pedal those out. You can feel that in the backs of your calves. You can like rock your hips side to side. Actually, you know, you get it. There's no rules. Just do what feels right to you in your body. Maybe up to your tippy toes. Maybe drop your knees towards the mat and hold that there. A little bit of a strength pose. Maybe shoot your hips back. And just breathe here. Inhaling and exhaling. And then we're gonna bend our knees, kind of like a frog here. Like a frog, and then step forward, 1 foot at a time. Fold in, halfway lift, folding in, rising up, hands to heart center, hands to your side. Okay, let's keep that heart rate up. Let's, one more time. Inhaling, folding in, exhaling, inhaling, halfway lift, exhaling to plank. And you know what? From this plank, let's roll, let's put our weight into our right palm. And let's float our left heel over, foot over, and then if you'd like, step that left foot in, and then we'll do, this is a modified side plank. Let's roll back, shoot that foot back, and just like switch over to the other side. And then modified side plank. Nothing too hard. Back to plank. Drop your knees. Hug your elbows in. Rise up to cobra or upward facing dog, and then fold back into downward facing dog. And this time, let's shoot that right leg up to the sky, trying to ground that left heel on this, and then open up that hip to the side. Maybe roll around those toes and the ankle. And then just drop that foot back down, and then moving up the opposite side. For me, it was the right first, and then the left, doesn't matter. Opening up that hip, moving your toes, dropping that foot back down to the mat, breathing here. Bending your knees like a frog, and then stepping forward, 1 foot and then the other foot, folding in, halfway lift, and then bending your knees to rise up. Back to Tadasana, hands to heart center, hands to your side. Okay, we're gonna move into some standing postures now. So we're waking up our body and we're building a little bit of strength this morning. I don't know about you, but I was out last night. I had a great time, but it's probably a good idea that I'm getting my body moving. So we're gonna step our left foot forward and our right foot back at an angle. Okay, so your left foot is forward and your right foot is like this. Okay, does that make sense? And you're pressing the back edge of your foot down towards the mat. We're gonna raise our hands up, bend into that front knee, keeping that knee like in line with your foot, folding in to whatever degree you can. Back leg is straight, front leg is bent. Arms are just raising up. They don't have to be shooting up like this. They can be relaxed, but your shoulders should be down. Shoulders back and down. Pull in that core. A few breaths here. We're gonna fold down. We're gonna step that left foot back. We're gonna drop our knees if you'd like. We're gonna fold in, back to cobra, back to upward facing dog. And then from here, we're gonna only step that right foot forward. And then we're gonna rise up with our left foot turned. And so now, see that? What a great trick. Now we are in Warrior One again. Did I call it Warrior One last time? I don't know. That's one of my things that I have a challenge with, is getting the right names for the right poses. And if I have somebody with me, they help correct me, but you just got me today. Inhaling and exhaling. What are you doing this weekend? Got plans? I'm really enjoying getting back out. And, you know, I felt like they really were doing a good job keeping people safe last night. All the restaurant workers were wearing masks. They were seating people apart. We sat outside everywhere we went. So then I'm stepping back to plank. I'm gonna hold this plank for a minute. Not a whole minute. I mean, maybe a few seconds. I don't want to freak anybody out. Drop your knees. Folding in. Lifting halfway, or lifting up to upward facing dog, and then back to downward facing dog. Okay, this time we're gonna step our left foot forward, spiral or spin out that right foot, and we're gonna rise up into Warrior Two. So in Warrior Two, in Warrior One, our hips are facing forward. In Warrior Two, our hips are facing out. It's hard to get them exactly parallel to the other side, but so we're bending into our front knee. Okay, and then we are raising our hands, looking over that front palm, shoulders back and down, pulling in that core. Stretching the fingers in opposite directions. And then we're going to go into Peaceful Warrior, which we flip our palm, we slide our hand back. Back to Warrior Two. And then we're going to move into side angle. So we're going to take our arm and bend it, and we're going to go down, and we're going to rest our hand on our leg, but we're only resting it. We're not putting our weight on it. And then we're going to lift that arm up. You can look up to your palm, you can look to the side, or you can look down at your front foot. Whatever works best for you. Couple of breaths here. You can feel this, right, in your leg. Okay, we're gonna fold back to Warrior Two, and back to the mat. Stepping back, drop the knees, folding in, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. This time, we're gonna step the right foot forward. Spin the left foot out, rise up, spin out to warrior two. Okay, and warrior two, right? We're looking over our front fingers, we're bending into our front leg. That back edge of the foot is moving down towards the mat, so we're not lifting that off. Hips are facing towards the opposite wall. And we're just gonna breathe here. Floating back into peaceful warrior. Really stretch that arm back, but keep bending into that front knee. Floating back to warrior two, bending that arm, coming down into side angle pose. You having fun yet? Look, let me see what the time is. Okay, we're at 21 minutes. I promised a half an hour, so I'm gonna do it. I promise. My timing is something I have to work on, but that's okay. Okay, we're gonna, keeping that knee bent, floating back up, spinning our arms down, stepping back, holding that plank, dropping your knees, folding in, halfway lift, downward facing dog. And from here, we're gonna step through, bend our knees, and then come down to the mat. Stretch your feet forward. Hands by your side, maybe just a little bit back towards your butt, with the palms flat. Push into those palms and like really flatten out your back. Take some breaths here. Crown of your head reaching towards the sky. As you're here doing this, maybe imagining some light energy coming down from above, in through your head, down through into your heart center, warming your heart, and then grounding you into the earth. Your feet should be flexed. And then we're gonna raise our hands up, bring our hands to heart center, and we're gonna slowly, slowly fold down with a flat back to whatever place you can get to. And then if you'd like to reach your hands forward and fold in a little, feel free to do that. This feels really good on my lower back. Crawling those hands back up. Now, watch this. I'm gonna take, I hope you can see me. I'm gonna take my right leg and I'm going to fold it over towards the left, and I'm gonna kind of put it down. I'm gonna bring my left leg back, and I'm, as much as you can, fold this leg over. So my left leg is actually on the ground, my right leg is back here under my rear end. And then we are going to like gently walk our hands forward. I can really feel this in my right hamstring. Walking our hands back in. Now we're going to plant that left foot on the ground. We're going to hold on to our knee, and we're going to twist around to the right, hugging that right knee in, and so that right buttocks can be off the ground. So we're bending around, we're opening up our spine, stretching our spine, twisting our spine. And then we're just gonna switch that around. So boom, bringing that right foot back in the direction of my butt, opening up that, like some people could have their knees like open, I just can't. And I just don't have, my body's not built that way. And then we're gonna fold forward over that front leg. Feeling that in your hamstring. Walking your hands back in, planting that left foot flat on the ground, twisting to the other side, pulling that knee in towards your chest. You can really feel that more in your what do you call your butt anyway? The butt part of the hamstrings. Anatomy's not my thing. Geography I'm not so good at either. Mental health, I'm pretty good at. I don't know if you've watched any of my videos, and I don't know if you know that I'm a licensed mental health counselor and a licensed marriage and family therapist. I practice in Orlando, Florida, in Dr. Phillips and in College Park. Okay, let's swing back around. Let's stretch our feet in front of us. How are we doing on time? Okay, we're at like 24 or 25 minutes. So we're gonna hug our knees in, and we're gonna lift our feet just slightly off the ground. And then we're just gonna do a little bit of core here. So maybe like grab onto the back of your thighs and raise those feet up. You can have, I have my knees bent here, and I'm pulling my chest in towards my thighs. So I'm not slumping into my back. That's the point. You can leave your hands here, or you can raise your hands up. Pulling in that core. This is hard for you. Go ahead and keep your feet on the ground. This is still working your core. You can have your hands at your chest. Modify in the way that works for your body. Don't make this too difficult. And then stay where you are, but I'm going to spin around this way because I've been advised not to do bridge pose facing the camera. You can figure out why that is. Put your hands out in front of you and slowly, 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 slowly lower down to the mat. It rained last night, so my deck is a little wet. So now I've got my back on the ground, my knees are bent, maybe to about where I can just about touch my heels. My palms are flat on the mat, and I'm gonna just push into my hips and lift those up. Breathing here. Slowly lowering down and then popping right back up. Slowly lowering down, raising, hugging those knees in, rolling maybe back and forth on your spine. That should feel really good. Lifting your heels up towards the ground, heels rising towards the sky, toes moving in the direction of your head. Legs are straight. You can have your knees bent here, whatever works. You can have your hands by your side, or you can lift the hands up straight above your shoulders. I like to flap my wrists over. This is called Sleeping Tiger. You can see why. Breathing here. Aren't you glad that you're doing this? Yeah, like be grateful to yourself that you took the time today to warm up your body and get moving. It doesn't matter whether you're doing this in the morning, the afternoon, the evening. It doesn't matter. We're gonna hug our knees in, and then we're gonna put our hand on the outside of our left thigh, and then we're gonna slowly move our knees over to the left. And then we're gonna stretch our arms out to a T, and we're gonna look over the opposite palm. Breathing here. Using your core, raise those knees up, and then just switch sides. Looking over that opposite hand, gently, softly breathing. Raising those knees back up, hugging the knees in towards the chest, maybe lifting your head up, and then we're going to stretch out into Shavasana, our final pose. So feet are maybe stretching out towards the sides of the mat, arms are sort of just out, like a little bit out from your side, palms are facing up. We're just gonna like let go of that measured breathing and just breathe naturally here. Are any of you out there people who are all or nothing thinkers? You're either eating healthy or you're not eating healthy. You're either working out or you're not working out. You're either being productive or you're not being productive. And do you believe that that's who you are? Or have you thought about the fact that that's what you're doing? Sometimes when we get into all or nothing thinking, we start to hold on to a belief about ourselves that we never follow through on anything. What the truth is, all or nothing thinkers, is that you are striving for perfection. And guess what? Perfection does not exist. Be gentle with yourself. Maybe have a goal to eat healthy 80% of the time, maybe 90, and then 20% of the time, let yourself have what you want. Make that your lifestyle, not a diet. I mean, I think you've heard the thing where the word die is in diet. You can look at that two ways: dying to your old self, moving into your new self, or you could look at it as dying. Because when we have all or nothing thinking, especially with regard to food and exercise, we tend to have a hard time maintaining a healthy balance in our life. If that's something that you're struggling with, and it's something you've struggled with for a number of years, I really, really would recommend you reach out to a therapist. Somebody who can help you understand where this behavior came from, but also how to overcome it. I hope these are not mosquitoes. Inhaling gently, exhaling gently through your mouth. Exhaling gently, softly through your mouth. trying to keep my promise of a half an hour. I'm gonna have you stretch your hands back over your head. Reach those fingers and their toes. Maybe yawn a little. Maybe like wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Hug those knees in. Rock side to side. And then rising up to seated. How are we on time? Oh shit. Oh. Oh well, we're at 35. Seem to have a really hard time. Sorry for the swear word. Okay, breathing in and out. Could have been something worse, knowing me. We're in easy pose. This is our first easy pose. Actually, I'm gonna move back a little. In easy pose, it's just your knees are bent. You don't have to have anything up on anything. Back is straight. Crown of the head rising up. Inhaling and exhaling. Having deep gratitude for yourself this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening, that you took time for yourself to do this practice. Raise your hands up. Look up to the universe. Thank the universe for the life that you have, that you even have time, that you even have the ability to do this yoga practice, knowing fully that this is a privilege that you are grateful for. Bringing your hands down to heart center, and then bowing our heads to one another, saying, Namaste. May the light and love in you reach out and meet the light in all you meet. Have a wonderful day, friends. Thank you for joining me. Time for a bike ride.